Hi, Joanne. Welcome to Member Spotlight Interview with Owners Club. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Amazing. So please tell our OC community what you do, what your
Mhm.
business is, and what you're all about.
All right. I am Joanne Castillo. I'm the owner of Infallible Fit, and we provide personal training one-on-one services in gym, and we also provide home concierge services. The core of what we do is that we do our best to create a safe and empowering environment so that clients can unleash their potential. And we like to work with clients who are beginners, they are busy professionals, and I want to say we complement their daily lives. So if they have a favorite hobby or something they want to do better, their strength program will be tailored to that.
Amazing. And do you have a niche or subset of people that have become a common client for you, or who do you mainly serve?
I actually mainly serve software engineers, and I also, excuse me, serve busy moms.
Oh, amazing. That's a fun subset
Hmm.
or subsets.
Yeah,
And where are you located? Because I think that might explain the software engineer part.
I'm in Palo Alto.
Amazing. And then what do you plan to do next? Do you have any big aspirations for 2024? I know we're ending 2023.
Yeah. So the next thing that I'd like to do is actually, I'd like to get my own space. I'm currently inside of a gym called Performance Games, and the trainers there were independent contractors. And so that is my plan for 2024. I'd like to do more of, building the foundation. What is my culture? And then moving on to looking for a space.
Yeah, you're looking to up level in 2024.
Yes, yes.
And then, so if we back up a little bit, walk me through your origin story. Before Infallible Fit came to be, where were you? What were you up to? What were you interested in? And what was the channel for you discovering this business that you own now?
Yes. So, I actually, before going into the fitness industry, I was in the Air Force. I was in the Air Force for 15 years. I joined in 2001, and it was a great experience. I lived in different places. I lived in Alabama, Korea, Germany, and Montana, and I was a medic. My entire career, I was a medic. Yeah, and being like the medic, we didn't have like one specialty. Like the job that I was in, we were placed into different clinics. So I worked pediatrics, family practice, ambulance services, and the emergency room. So I was more of a trauma medic. It was a great experience. Yeah, so that's what I did. Yeah,
Oh my
that's
gosh,
what
I
I did
didn't know that.
beforehand. Yeah. Hmm.
And
So
then yeah, I don't even know where to begin. How did you make the pivot or how did you discover what you're doing now? Because I know that they're both in the health field, but they're very different.
yes, for a very long time, I battled with my weight like most of my life. So I was like yo-yo dieting back and forth. And then in 2016, it just finally dawned on me that it's time for a change. I'm tired of feeling, bad for myself, feeling sorry for myself. I was also diagnosed with high cholesterol and I was pre-diabetic. So that kind of gave me that wake up call.
Yeah.
And I know we haven't seen each other personally, but I'm like 5 feet and I was 163 pounds. So
Oh my gosh.
when that happened, yeah. And so when it happened, I hired a registered dietitian. And then from there, we just hit it off. I changed my nutrition, I committed to my workouts, and I lost 50 pounds in a year.
Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations on that. That's amazing.
Thank you. And then with my transformation, it wasn't just, the physical aspect of it. It was what it did for my mental, how it improved my mindset, and then it just bled into other aspects of my life. And, after that, I was like, you know what? I want to go into business in the fitness industry because I want to help people the way fitness helped me.
I always say that nobody is more primed to help people, especially with health and fitness, than those who have been through a
Hmm.
struggle because you just will never be able to meet people where they're at when they're coming to look for help if you haven't also been there. It's an incredibly emotional journey, I feel like, going from like needing help yourself to then becoming the help that you then provide to people.
Yes, that's so true. And then, I mean, it's basically like what you just said. We can genuinely walk alongside people through
Yeah.
their journey.
Yes,
Hmm.
and it's so much more meant like the physical is almost just like a side effect of what's mentally going on. And so in a lot of
Hmm.
ways it's probably more than you're probably more than just working on people's physical body when they work with you. Is that right?
It is. So, yes, I have like the physical aspect of it, but the very, very, very like deep core of it is the mindset. Because that is where when you start working on that, your values, beliefs, or anything that may have happened to you, that's when you start making the long-lasting changes. And just through movement and my experience, that's how I know how to teach it.
Yes. Oh my God, I have so many questions for you. Okay, but if we
Yeah.
finish this origin story, how did you
Yes.
know that starting your own business was for you? Because I think becoming an entrepreneur and an
Hmm.
owner, it's not the easiest journey into getting into your space. So
Hmm.
what made you want to have your own thing?
So my dad, he was a businessman. So I was always interested in business. Even when I was young, like I would do things like I would draw pictures and go outside and try to sell them for $7 when I was a kid. Like I
Oh,
used to just do things like get things and try to sell them. Yeah, I would like always try to whatever I could, I would try to sell it. So I already like had that, and then I actually had two previous businesses before the fitness one. They didn't go as far, but they were still experiences. With a couple partners, I had a DJ business, and then another one because I was in the music entertainment industry as well, or I wanted to be. And then the other business was a record label with a friend, which we are still good friends. And yeah, that's where it started, and then now here I'm here.
I know I have to ask, do you curate playlists for your clients that come into your facility now?
Not yet. So it's funny you mention that because I'm currently building these playlists for Spotify, and I want to put those in my newsletters so that clients could just download it or like search for Infallible, and then they have their own playlist.
You gotta do that. That would be amazing. Else
Yeah.
you can be part of the movement.
That'll be cool.
That's amazing. Okay, so my next question for you is,
Mhm.
you said you started a few other things, and so you have been an owner quite a few times. What has made this
Mhm.
one stickier, or why do you think this one has lasted, whereas the others maybe have phased out?
My why and my
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah, that's
I
amazing.
mean,
And so is
you
it
make
because of how personal it is?
yes, how personal it is, and I think also just even from being a medic, how rewarding it is helping people and like saving lives. I feel like that just bleeds into it.
Yeah, I love that. And how long has Infallible Fit been around?
I've been around, it'll be 6 years, January 2nd.
Oh my God.
Um, and at first I was actually JC Fitness when I first started.
Oh, that's fun. I love that. Okay, and
Hmm.
then so you've 6 years is a long time. And so what are some of the biggest it's a roller coaster owning a business. I think we all can
Yes.
agree to that. And so what are some of the
Hmm.
biggest learnings that you've had and what are some moments where you've really won or really struggled? What has like the roller coaster looked like over the past 6 years?
Um, I'll say one of the biggest lessons I had like in the beginning was my first website. I hired someone to do my website, and she charged me like 1,500. But however, she didn't finish it, and the work that she did, I would say maybe I would have just maybe charged her 200. So I took it into my own hands and I learned how to build a website. And the things that she said she couldn't do, um, I figured it out. So I felt like with that, it taught me to at least learn certain things before I go and try to outsource so that I know the lingo or and I know what's going on. Because I didn't, I just kind of jumped into it. So from there, I would learn things like even like QuickBooks or something, at least the basic before I go out and try to outsource.
That
Um,
is so spot on. There's so much where I feel like we
yeah,
think that we need to outsource to a subject matter expert. And I've seen
yes.
countless owners, and even my partner, funny enough, did the same exact thing, like got a web development team. And it took longer
Hmm.
and it wasn't still done. And he ended up taking it over as well. And so I've seen it time and
Hmm.
time again where you just need to take things into your own hands, understand how long it takes, and then outsource.
Yes, definitely. And then also just um, I want to say I'm still in the learning process, but I'm so much better now of trying to do everything myself and thinking that no one can do it except for me.
Yes. Tell me a
Yeah.
little bit more about that. Like, what does that look like?
So, well, doing myself, like I would like say I would take it like month by month. Like I would say, okay, let me learn QuickBooks, let me learn finance, and then that's all I would do. Let me learn some marketing, social media, that's all I would do. And then um, with social media, social media is a monster. So in February, I hired Honey and Hive for
Yeah.
them to help me out. And once I did that and realized that, hey, this is an investment, not a cost, I just saw how much my time was freed up and how I was able to focus on the other things like what I love to do, the things I need to do as being an owner, the networking, being more strategic. That's how things have changed. And then ever since February, it has actually improved to where now I do have a few VAs and I'm, training them up and it's been good.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And so then I assume that all of these things free up your time, period. But then you're being a PT, your time and a trainer, being a it your time is your money. Like every additional hour that you have in the day could be an hour going to a client. So how has that looked in terms of have you been able to fill your schedule more? How do you fill your schedule? How do you find clients? What does your growth
Mhm.
process look like?
So I'm actually for first time for the last couple months, I'm fully booked. And I'm so excited. And to be fully booked during this time, because historically, around this time, I would lose at least half to three-quarters of my income.
Oh my gosh, because of the cyclical nature of the year and the holidays and
The
winter.
holidays, everybody's leaving, it's busy, so a lot of clients they won't show up as much, which is understandable. End of year stuff with their job, what they have to do. So it's been good. When I was working with Honey and Hive, we started doing ads, and that actually, from what we did, that actually has so I'm still getting that traction. I'm still getting leads from that. So that's
No
been so
way.
helpful. Yeah, yeah.
On what I have to ask, what platform have ads worked for you? Like where is your audience? Is it Instagram? Is it where are they?
It's Google.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so then tell me, so my next question for you is what have been some of the struggles that you face? Because I imagine there have been quite a few over the past 6 years. What have been times where it was either tough lessons to learn or
Mm-hmm.
a poor decision led you down a tough path? Like, what have been some of the struggles that you've experienced in owning this business?
Um, I'll say the struggle was more of like with me because I wasn't as confident in like my mission. So I didn't like a jump or like move forward like I am now. I didn't I was kind of shy explaining like what my mission was. Like even like my consultation with Young, he even told me straight up. He was like, "You don't even sound confident."
He's like, how do you expect other people to
So,
trust you if you don't trust yourself? I can like hear him saying it
yeah,
in my head right now.
yeah. Yeah, so it was actually that, and because of that, I played small. I didn't really put myself out there. So I didn't grow as fast as I know I could have. That's what pops up. That was like my main struggle.
And how did you overcome that? Because that's not an easy one. It takes
Hmm.
reshaping a lot of the way that your brain
Hmm.
works.
Hmm. A lot of it, I'm very big with self-development, personal growth, and it was doing a lot of inner child, inner teen work, a lot of personal growth, healing, and like facing certain traumas that I went through, and that healing process, it really helped me in changing my beliefs and my values, the things that, I used to do a lot of self-sabotage, and then not even just that, like using like I'll probably be jumping, but using like owner's dashboard and doing things step by step now, and then just seeing like how I'm just taking it slower, taking it step by step, but moving so much further. And that has helped me build confidence, especially like where I'm currently at. But mainly it has been doing the self-development work and just realizing my value and my worth. And that my mission is like for real, like this is my purpose, this is why I was brought here.
And yeah, I think you just said two things that are so incredibly wise, where the first one being
Hmm.
business is so personal. So if you don't have your personal shit together, it's going to be so hard to grow your
Yeah.
business. And if you're not willing to grow
Yes.
yourself, you probably can't grow your business. So your openness and ability to grow in yourself, I apologize, my dog is barking. That's
No
like
worries.
amazing. And then the second part,
Hmm.
just you actually don't need to work more or work harder. You can work smarter and get to the same, if not better, place by following some type
Hmm.
of system or structure, as opposed to kind of floundering or doing a million things at once or having all like the pots in the kitchen on the stove. Like it doesn't need to look like that to still
Yep.
accomplish something that's amazing.
Yeah, it's so true because like every level that you have to be a different person to hit that next level. And I used to hear that all the time and I didn't get it, but I get it now. Like you do, you have to be a different person to reach that next level. And that personal growth, that's like golden.
Yeah, it's so true. It's rewarding on all fronts. And so then that leads me into my next question of what have there been moments, and they can be small ones, they can be big ones, but have there been
Hmm.
moments where you felt like, wow, my childhood self would be astonished at what I've accomplished, or I would have never believed I would have accomplished X, Y, and Z if you asked me in the beginning? Like, have there been moments where they were aha moments for you within this business?
Yes, a lot, especially this
Tell me
year.
all of them. I want to hear
I
them
guess
all.
like yeah. Um, I mean like so I have like a lot of aha moments as far as like so I'll say one of my current ones is I have a client who's turning 50 and her goal was to do pull-ups and she actually got her first pull-up. So
Oh, that's
just like
amazing.
within that, like, oh my gosh, I actually like helped somebody reach their goal. I did the research, did the homework, and like it worked. And it just like boosted me, like, like, of course, brought more confidence in me as a coach. Like,
Yes.
hey, come here, and I know I'm gonna help you do it. And that was recent. That was really, really recent. So that's like a like one of my big moments there. Another is my monthly revenue. So with everything I've been doing, taking it step by step, I mean everything, just the so like the personal growth, everything. I actually hit my highest monthly revenue in November.
You
And
got to be screaming this from the rooftops. That's amazing.
yeah, but I hit it and I surpassed it, which was so crazy because it just seemed like I was never going to do it. My like I tried and tried and tried different things, and it was great. I looked at my P&L and I was like, wow.
And November is also not easy to do that. It's a shorter month. You've got Thanksgiving
Mm-mm.
holiday. You've got gearing up for like you've got travel probably. Like that is an
Hmm.
accomplishment in itself, but to also do it in a tricky month as a business owner is amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's so crazy. It does make me feel like, okay, if I can do this in the wintertime, I definitely can do this in spring, summer, all year round.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be checking in March and be like, what are you doing getting everyone ready for summer? Okay, well, that's amazing. And then this, it kind of goes into this, but I'd love for you to really tap into the moments of when did you, when have you, what have been like the levels of your business and how did you know when there was time to level up your business? Because you've talked about the recent one of like personal development has then triggered
Hmm.
and focusing outsourcing to
Hmm.
marketing has allowed you to then fill your roster using VAs have also allowed, but when do you know it's time to implement these different things or get help in your business? What are like the key indicators you look for?
Um, I never actually really thought about that. I go more of like the feeling and what's happening at that moment.
Yeah.
So, like for instance, like I'm currently in Palo Alto, but before then I was in Sunnyvale, and I moved to Redwood City. But I mean, Sunnyvale was a great gym, and it was the same model as far as being independent contractor. And as far as like the knowledge that I wanted to gain, it was the gym that was in Palo Alto, which is more like the gym is more clinical and more academic. So it was just more me knowing, okay, I want to build my knowledge. I want to learn more about the body, human movement. Boom, I moved to Palo Alto. And then another jump was like, with as far as like me wanting to get more clientele and then realizing I needed the help, that's when I got the VAs. And then, yeah, guess that's, yeah, that's my answer there.
I think you approach it in a smart way though. It's a systematic way.
Yeah.
And I assume like the dashboard probably helps, but it's one of those things where if you have a goal or an objective that you want to complete, like becoming more academic or getting new
Hmm.
mentors or increasing the number of clients you service, it's like you then have to spend a little money to do that, or you have to make the shift and not be scared because you're operating then from a place of like, what can I turn on to do this? And so you're actually operating as an owner. Like that
Hmm.
is your answer, where it's like you want something. And so you do what you need to go get it, is kind of like your way of leveling up.
Yeah, I think it's good because also like as you mentioned that, like when I look at my monthly priorities and you know how you just kind of see how each task you knock out and it's like, okay, this, the next one, the next one, the next one. And then that's how I've just found myself where I'm at now.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so you've talked a little, you mentioned in the beginning where you plan to be next, but can you dig a little deeper into what the next level up will look like for you and what you hope to accomplish in it?
Hmm. So what I want to do first, actually, like before the gym, is I want to build like brand recognition around the Palo Alto Menlo Park area because I am starting to be found on Google, but not actually as exposed as I would like to be. So the next thing I would like to do is to do like group classes to partner with local establishments where we can like, I can conduct like a weekly group workout or something. Like, we'll do a workout here and then maybe go get coffee and then another workout and then another establishment and then we'll have brunch. And I feel that way we can build like that strong community and then have like small businesses us coming together and at the same time we're helping people in what we love to do. So I would love to do that, build that brand recognition, build the community, and then as well as like building my culture, the values and skill sets that I'm looking for, and then from there take that into my own space.
Oh, I love that. So you are it's that brick by brick approach of like what do you want before actually establishing a physical space, and it's like that community
Yeah.
aspect is so important.
Hmm.
And then yeah, that like
Hmm.
community kind of is everything because then you can bring them within your own space and build your brand.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
because I definitely, yeah, I definitely want like a diverse, like judgment-free, like community judgment-free zone, and then where everyone can embrace their unique strengths. So
I love
I want to provide that space.
because so many gyms are honestly so intimidating to walk into. Like I used to live in New York
Hmm.
City and I joined a gym and for the first 2 weeks I was timid to try new equipment or I was scared to like go at certain it's just like
Yeah.
it can be an intimidating place. So having an inclusive gym is just so important.
Hmm. And inviting, and approachable. Because yeah, like I mean, um, I've been there before too, where it's like you go and then you see people fit or how they look, and then they're in the gym carrying all these weights, and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna head over here.
I have no idea how to use half the
You know?
equipment. I'm like, how would I use this? I would love to do weight training, but I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yep.
Okay, so my next question for you are who are the critical players and moments that have helped you along the way? Because I assume you've had that support system. And so who are they
Mhm.
and how have they helped you?
So I do have a few. One good friend of mine, her name is Susan Nichols. So I used to, when I first started, of course, I used to like network a lot, and then we got to know each other being part of a networking group. And she immediately like took me under her wing, and then it was just so crazy because I was a new business owner. She didn't even know me, and just for her to do that, it really meant a lot. She also helped me as well as like COVID. So COVID, she got her PPP loan, and with that, she hired me as a trainer for her business and who any of her employees that wanted training to help with their mindset, I would train them. So
Oh, I love
her, her business acumen, yeah, it wasn't that amazing how she did that,
yeah.
right? Yeah. So it really helped me, of course, through COVID. And then so it's just her sharing her business acumen, her helping me like staying under, taking me under her wing, that really helped me. This was, wow, like, yeah, my first couple years of business. Another person is my old business coach, Elisa Yu. She's also a friend, but like when she was my coach, she really helped me as far as like putting systems together, or like starting to put systems together. She helped me start like thinking more of like a business owner instead of me just like, oh, here, hey, I train. You want to train? All right. And that was it. So just that, like even just like how I did my like my billing system, that was really huge for me because I didn't know how to do that. So that's the first thing that pops up. Um, Elisa Yu, Susan Nichols, they're actually, yeah, they were like really big influences in the beginning of my career.
It's amazing to hear because I think that why we ask this question is it really highlights that it can't be done alone. And you need these people
Hmm.
that are willing to pull you up or help you in tough times. And then it will allow you and enable you as your business thrives to do the same for others. But it's this cyclical, it's a cycle of you can't build alone, and you also probably need to surround yourself with people that are smarter
Hmm.
at certain times or more knowledgeable about the thing that you're doing, so then you can learn, and it's the quickest way of acquiring information and continuing to grow.
Yes, that's so true. Because even with like Elisa, she really pushed me to network, really pushed me to get out there. Because I was like so shy to do it. So she pushed me out there. Then I started meeting different business owners, and then I would get little gems everywhere from the people that I've met, and just kind of implemented that, and just saw what worked, and then saw what didn't. So if it wasn't for that, I mean, I wouldn't have met the people I have, and I actually like wouldn't like be where I am now.
Yeah. And that leads me to my next question is
Hmm.
how do you know when to ask for help? Because I think that's part of it where it's like people won't
Hmm.
know you need help unless you ask them. So in these networking situations or in the
Yeah.
past, how have you known when to ask for help?
Um, I'm just now learning that. I've always struggled asking for help. Because like uh when I was it really just goes back to like when I was young, I was alone a lot, so I had to fend for myself, do things on my own, and I just learned how to do stuff for myself. And then I also didn't want to seem like I didn't know. So then I would just kind of try to figure things out, and that's just kind of led me into adulthood. I think now with like seeing when I first hired Honey and Hive and how that has helped, how in the owners club you guys are always pushing like ask questions, me reaching out to you the other day like, hey, let's one on one. So it's getting better, and I'm learning that I do need help.
From an outside perspective, you seem quite confident in it all. So I think it's helpful for us
Yeah.
to hear that it can still be a struggle, but I feel like you're quite good at it. And you're in our
Hmm.
cohort program right now. And you,
Hmm.
as an existing Owners Club member and a little bit more senior in terms of like your Owners Club journey,
Hmm.
you seem like a leader naturally in that group. So it's funny to hear you say those things because it's just not how I associate you
Oh,
and your.
really? See, I'm getting better. See, I'm getting better.
You are.
Yeah.
And so then leading into that, how has Owners Club helped you, and in what ways have you leveraged it to help you in your business?
A couple things. I'll say the first thing, using the dashboard and the framework. So the framework has given me direction. I was all over the place, and it's like it's simple. Like
Oh my
it
God, yeah.
threw me off at first. Yeah, like it threw me off. I'm like, okay, all this time I've been working very complicated, and then you want me to cut everything out and simplify it. So
I saw it for the first time and I was like, this is it? I was like, really?
yeah, me too.
But
Yeah, so
works.
it that yeah, it does. And it's just, just of course, like letting time show you that it works, you know? So, like, with that, the framework has given me direction. And what I love about the core is just like how we're going more into detail with it. So, I'm getting a way better understanding. Using the dashboard, writing out our strategies and tactics. And that's helped me weed out the noise and really hone in on what I really want. And then using the monthly priorities. So, it's really got me to niche down on my vision because I did not know. I did not know. It was like, what's that called? The shiny object syndrome. That's what I
Yeah.
had. It was like, I want this, but oh no, okay, I want this. But now I'm more like, nope, this is where I'm going. And the noise just, drive right past me. Um, so it's helped in that way. And then seeing how in time I've um, progressed and as fast as I've ever progressed in being in business, that's increased my confidence. So being in OC has also increased my confidence. Being in a community of like-minded, highly motivated people, and that not only them having their own business, but they're just so ready to help you whenever, whenever like you need help.
That's amazing. Yeah, we hear that a bit of what you just said, even about the dashboard, where it's like people by month 3 actually like usually start working less in some ways, where it's like they're not frantically running around at everything or needing to work
Yeah.
60-hour work weeks, and they turn to us and they're like, okay, what's next? And Young always says, he's like, go for a walk, like spend time with your family. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
what do you want with your time?
Yeah, and I remember, you know how it's like, what are you gonna do to recharge? I
Yeah,
remember the first time I saw that, I was like, what? Recharge? I'm gonna go and do something personal for myself? That threw me off
yeah,
too.
you're
But
like,
now I'm like, oh, this is what I'm doing this weekend.
yes, you're like, I've got 2 full days completely off. I'm not thinking about my business.
Yeah, and then this just popped up. What also helped me, I'll say like wanting to like get VAs is who in the monthly priorities tab, like who's in charge of the task. And I was like, I don't want to just only see my name here.
You're like, this is lonely.
Yeah, I need help. That's what.
I don't want to do all these things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know that. That's awesome. That's great. And so then I'm going to
Hmm.
tailor this question a little bit to you and your experience, but
Okay.
who would you suggest
Hmm.
might benefit from not only being in the community, but actually being in the cohort coaching? Who would you who's like kind of the ideal persona, or why have you found it helpful, and what friend archetype might
Hmm.
you refer to the cohort?
I'll say the person, like, so the person who it feels like they're alone and they don't have any support, and they want to be around like-minded, a good group of people, like very, very genuine. Someone who wants to take it to the next level, but they don't know how. They're someone who's running around so chaotic and needs direction and simplification. That's what I would say.
Okay, well, thank you. Those are my questions, and I really appreciate it. I feel like I learned so
Hmm.
much about you personally, and your business is so
Hmm.
personal, and the industry that you're in, it really helps to have a person, I feel like, behind what you're doing, and to know that person. And so, thank you so much for taking the time today
Hmm.
to talk to me and tell us all about your business and Infallible Fit.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, and where can we find you? What's your Instagram and your website if people want to check you out more?
Yes, definitely. So my Instagram is Infallible Fit, Infallible Fit, and it goes the same for my website, www.infalliblefit.com. You can also find me on Facebook, and I am also on LinkedIn.
Amazing. Okay, cool. Well, thank you, Joanne, and I hope you
Hmm.
have a great rest of your
Yeah.
Friday and weekend.
All right, you too. Bye.